What is going on, everyone? Chris Beans here with Bowler's Rant, bringing you 2 new updates from Storm Bowling. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Okay, we're going back to the land of my favorite places, the land of the overseas market, where you get all the best core and cover combinations. Wow, I finally got through that without stumbling. Let's get on over to the interwebs. And what are these goodies we've got in front of me? We're here to talk about these two things, the IQ Tour Blue and the Ghost Lock. Okay, and not to be confused, because there is a Shadow Lock out there. I'm going to cover that in a different video, but let's talk about this IQ Tour Blue. Okay, so here's the ball, here's the core, right? This thing's blue. What's going on with this thing? Well, the big story about this ball is everything's the same except the cover stock, okay? This is R2X solid reactive, okay? And it's not just like any solid reactive, it's 1500 grit polished, okay? So you got the 249 RG, the usual, 029 differential, right? We know all that stuff. You know, it's blue, cool with that. We'll get to the scent in a minute when I look at the flyer. 1500 grit polished, okay? So it's got all the same stuff, except it's got a much stronger cover, okay? Which would make a lot of people very happy. If you remember, R2X Solid was also on the High Road Nano X, and if I'm not mistaken, was also on the Promotion Tour, which was an amazing ball. So let's take a close-up real quick. There it is. Looks amazing. You can tell it's polished. And I just don't know why Storm doesn't bring this over here. I mean, this would break the internet if they made this in the United States. There is no question in my mind. And here is a picture of the flyer. Let's see. Blueberry. Okay, yeah, this is the quintessential, house shot ball for your standard medium oil condition. You could probably use this for a variety of conditions. Pick your favorite layout and you would be off into the races. Wow. Here's a picture of the Ghost Lock, okay? And I don't have the page in front of me, so we'll just come back over here, open that bad boy up. Here it is. All right. So, got the flyer, okay? Looking pretty good. This is also solid, by the way. It's got the Rad-X core. So, what's going on with this ball? We're going to come down here and notice this is NRG2 solid reactive. I think this is just looking fan-friggin-tastic, okay? Of the two, this one's the one I like the best. So, what are the specs? We've got 248RG, 054 differential. Have to take a look at the flyer to get the asymmetric differential. 1500 grit polished again. It's a solid, NRG2 cover. Let's go back. Here is the close-up. Looking amazing. Outstanding shelf appeal, especially for an overseas ball. Looks outstanding. Let's take a look at the flyer. Let's open this up into the tab and bang. What do we got here? Plum Nectar is the fragrance, and it's got an 018 asymmetric differential. So 248 RG with the 0.054 differential, 0.018 asymmetric differential. So you got two solids here, right? You got a symmetrical solid over here, and you got an asymmetrical solid. Both of them are shiny, and they're going to fit a different spot in the bag. Just looking at this, both of them are both low RG. It's just that, you're still going to have more of a control style motion here. I would say this is probably going to be just a smoother version of the Hustle Ink if I'm reading this correctly, which is not a bad thing at all. Or it might be very close to it, just with maybe a little bit more pop to the back in terms of continuation, not necessarily shape. But when I look at this Ghost Lock, this thing looks just like something next level. I don't know that I've ever seen a polished nano asymmetric solid before. Someone can fact check me on this. I'm sure there's something out there. I'm just not thinking of it at the time. But this is a really interesting ball. Like, I would love to start with something like this as a benchmark asim on a standard house condition to get all the link, especially for some of us who are speed challenged but are rev dominant and you want to get down the lane but get just a lot of torque into the pocket without throwing a pearl or even a standard pearl, because you still might get a little over under reaction. That's where this ball would come in. Would really fit a lot of versatility, and just, who doesn't like a black bowling ball? Looks absolutely outstanding. So we're going to do things a little bit differently here. We'll do the shelf appeal one at a time. So when I think about this shelf appeal, I absolutely think outstanding. 9 out of 10, without a question. Something like this would be very recognizable on the lanes, especially if it was mass produced, like, worldwide or in the US market, and everyone would know exactly what this ball is all about. And no question in my mind, if you go back to the IQ Tour, here it is. Everyone knows what an IQ is. They always know what you're going to get. just having that R2X cover, not the shelf appeal thing, but just a thought that hits my head, just what separates it. But if you put this on the lane, everyone's going to ask, what is that ball all about? So as usual, we will, keep an eye on these, see if anything develops with these balls. Maybe they might come stateside. One can only dream. But check back in the video description, see if I've got any links that I might be able to see if there's any more information that comes up about them. So what do you think about these balls? Do you like the IQ Tour Blue? And what do you think of that Ghost Lock? If you were to get one of these, what layout would you go with? Drop me a comment, let me know. Let's continue the conversation. More updates are coming. And until then, bowl well.